Okay. I've never done this before in my life. Alright, I should be streaming. Alright, 1 second, I'm going to send an email out. Okay. Okay, well there we go. I've sent out an email. You can probably hear my budgie in the background. Cool, cool. Alright, so the very first thing we're going to do, having never streamed before, I saw that there was an opportunity to make a logo or a thumbnail for the stream, so I'm going to do that. Alright, and I've got some tunes playing. Supposedly they are royalty free. Not that I'm particularly concerned about that. This is funky tunes. Okay. Got like that one there. This one's a funky song. Got some cool question marks. I think I need a couple more question marks. Yeah, that's what I need. These don't get block shadows. Oops. Well, let's get rid of those. Can't have that. We need block shadows. Oh, you can hear my budgie in the background. Good old budgie. Did that not get? Yeah, that one did. Okay. Huh. That one didn't get a block shadow. I'm not sure what's happening with the music here. Are these only like 10 seconds long? Apparently that last one was. That piano loop was 11 seconds. Well done, random music nerd. Yes, this is very good. My budgie sure has a lot of things to say in the background. Okay, one moment. Is the stream working? Ah, I've dropped some frames. Yeah, I live out in the country, so drop frames are gonna be a thing. Of course, there's nobody here to talk to at the moment, but that's okay. Okay, are we doing all right? All right, let's export this. Okay. Let's just save it to the desktop. Where else do you save stuff? Okay. Very good. I don't need a transparency. It can be white as far as I care. Okay, very good. And all right, let's get a thumbnail. Change the thumbnail for the stream. Okay. Very good. I did that off another thing there. Okay, let me just check our stream here. We are still losing some frames. I'm not sure if there's anything I can do about that. Yeah, I live out in the country, and yeah, there's very little I can do about my internet quality. In fact, I'm streaming at like a mere like 6,000 kilobytes a second, which is like 3,000 less than the YouTube recommended bitrate, but it is simply non-possible. Anything else other? Alright, well, I got some funky music playing. I'll be back in a second. Gonna mute the microphone, I think. Do I have that button set up right? Maybe I don't. What tool is it? It's this one here, yeah? This profile. There we go. Alright, so my microphone muting works. Okay, one moment. I've got to take a little potty break, get settled, and yeah, I'm going to learn this CorelDRAW tool. Back in a bit. Alright, I've returned. Okay, so I've made my little picture. There's my thumbnail. Alright, is anybody watching? I'm gonna say something. Hello! Oh no, something super terrible has happened. I spilled a delicious beverage into my keyboard. Oh no! One moment, I must mute my mic again and go clean this up. Ah! Okay, well, I may have just damaged my keyboard. I certainly did just spill liquid into it just as I sat down. And a couple of the keys are glitching out, I assume because there is fluid shorting some of the keys. Don't think it'll be a big deal. But yeah, might cause some problems as we're working here. But yeah, whatever. If I'm going to half-ass something, I may as well just fully half-ass it, hey? Alright. Okay, well, I'm not sure if I can type. Words might be hard for a little bit, but I can speak. Alright, so I'm going to be stepping in and out a little bit here. I don't really know what I'm doing with this whole streaming thing, so if anybody does actually end up watching, that's great. Let me see. I've got concurrent viewers. Wonder if that's myself. There's 2 people watching apparently. Well, hello, people. All right, so here's what we're doing. Okay, I guess I'll save my little thumbnail thing here. Actually, I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, I am working on a project, and that project is I am learning how this CorelDRAW tool works, and I want to create something kind of cool if I can. Where is it? On this other screen. And here we are. Okay. So, this is an image. Let's get rid of some of these things since they're my objects. Window, Dockers, objects. Okay, very good. So let's get rid of that and that. Alright, so this here is the temple of I just noticed that I'm missing user interface items. Let's go to default. Okay. This is the Temple of Teproum in Cambodia. I believe it's near to the Angkor Wat ruin. Okay, and as you can see, this is inside, and this whole structure is, of course, caving in. It hasn't been maintained. This is a Buddhist temple, and it is slowly giving way to nature. There are, if you look it up, there are pictures of this. There's trees growing out, and it's right in the jungle, and the world is just going to inevitably crush it. But there is some really beautiful stonework designs in here, and my goal is I'm going to redraw this in Corel. A little bit of tracing involved. It's going to get hold of the tools. You can see what I've done so far here is I have figured out some perspective things. So there's like a vanishing point over yonder. Okay. I'm kind of approaching this with an engineering perspective in the back of my brain. I don't have an artist perspective, but I do have an engineering perspective. I understand something about vanishing points. So that's where we're at. Okay. And the first thing I thought I would recreate is this side wall. Okay. Now, if I zoom in on the wall here, you can see that there's marks, and this is a mark where I believe the builders, you can see them here too, the builders, I believe, moved these stones by drilling small holes in them and using some sort of tool to pick it up and place it and carve it. And yeah, I believe that's how they would have held the stones up in the air with some sort of scaffolding. Yeah. Anyways, so we're going to try to recreate that. Now, I've done a little bit of work. So I've got some vanishing points. I'm not sure if it'll show up here, but you can see I've got lines that come all the way out. And let's pull in my walls. Okay, so this is what I started working on for a wall. Now, I've got two of them. I'm going to actually delete the second one. And this one here, I haven't gone all the way to the end. I figure that this is enough bricks to accurately capture what's going on right here. And basically what I'm going to do for at least today is I'm going to draw this and create the most detailed wall that I can create. And that is going to be what we're working on. So, let's see, how do I do this? Okay, so I'm going to duplicate, I know I just deleted that. Oh, you can see this is how the wall looks if it's, if we've added a perspective. And so I could drag this in right there, and you get a sense of how this would look. I think this may be a little bit, yeah, well, anyways. You get a bit of an idea of how this kind of thing is going to look. I will warn anybody watching that I am working out of another business at the moment. We have a shop here in the real world, and from time to time I will need to step away and do shop-related things, or there may be people in and I'll have to just mute. I'll just be working. So that's just a heads up for those watching. Alright, so this is our wall, okay? So I created all these bricks using the rectangle tool. So I would create a rectangle, and then I would go down to here, and there is a distort button. Okay, and you can do zany things like distort your rectangles. And if you go and fiddle with the settings, you can create really quite interesting distortions. Well, anyways. I can round the corner, on the wall. Create. Anyway, so that's kind of, I didn't do this exactly for these things, but all of these bricks were originally created. If I select this and I convert this to curves, okay, there is a distinction in Corel between objects that have been distorted and curves. For some reason, the distortion tool causes some of these objects to not appear. But if they are curves, where where the whole shape is defined by its nodes and basically the lines leaving from those nodes, in that case, it's not going to be a problem. Okay, so first things first, let's do something. I don't like fractional pixels. Let's go 2840 and 2840 and 1416. 2840 and 1416. Aha! This is dropping a beverage coming back to get me. That is 2840 and 1416. Okay. There, it's an even number of pixels now. And I'm going to create a box. And this is going to be a background for this, and we're going to create a pattern on it. So it's 2840 and 1416. Okay. So these two objects are the same. This group and this object are the same size. One moment, here we go. Very good. Now, the next thing is I need to put this behind the other object, so I can right click on this, go to order, to back a page. No, wait, not to the back page. I want to go to behind this other object there. Okay, great. So now I can align distribute. Oh, there goes the telephone. One moment. I'm going to have to mute my mic while I take care of the phone. Hey, and I'm back. Alright, so here's what I'm doing right now. I am creating little holes. Okay, so we've textured the stone, right? And if we look at our stone, I mentioned this earlier, all the stones here have these little holes on them that they used I believe as support so that they could carve each of the rocks, right? So they would hold it up and they would have had some sort of mechanism where they could have supported the entire piece of stone. And yeah, they would have held it up and been able to do some carving. Zoom back over to our picture. So I'm just going to be adding circles. I'm not too worried about the detail on this because we're, like I said, this is going to be put into that perspective. There is action happening in the store here. So if you happen to hear people rummaging around and doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that, it's probably just because that's exactly what they're doing. They're doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that. If customers do come in, I will be muting the microphone though. Or if the phone rings, give people a little bit of privacy. Okay. Alright, so that's not so bad. Yeah, okay, now this background. This is going to be like the mortar or the background. I think we need to darken this. So let's go to the color pick. Let's pick that color there and drop it on our background. Did it not go? I have the back. Oh, I know why it didn't go. Alright. We had some objects in the way. Oh dear. Can I remove this effect? don't know if I can remove that effect. Probably can. If I go to the property, bitmap effects. Alright, so there we go. It's back to just plain old beige, or dark brown, or whatever it's supposed to be. Can I? Hello? Not drag. There we go. Okay, now this is still not quite right. Let's go change the color a little bit more. Go to our color viewer. I want to darken that up. And add, take a little bit of red out of that. Yeah, there we go. Then I can grab this. Oops, I move the whole thing. Alright. So there we go. Alright, so the background, we're getting better. Background's getting closer. So I need to go back to my objects thing and I need to grab a rectangle. So we're going to give this one an effect, texture effect like we gave the stone there. It's probably going to be stone. We might try, let's check out the cobblestone one first. Toughness. No. I see what it's doing. Don't like that at all. Okay, so let's go effects, texture, stone. Alright. Oh, we've got somebody watching. Hello, somebody. Cool. Alright, so the detail on the background, let's give that even more roughness. 100%. I want all the roughness. Or detail. Yeah, okay, we'll go with whatever that is. Okay. Now, I should be able to group this entire thing together. And this is going to be a... You know, I poured liquid in my keyboard, and would you believe that that's causing me problems? Unheard of. All right, I'll just do it through this button there. Okay, so I've got a group of objects. I can hide it and unhide it. Rendering this is going to take a little bit of time because it's applying bitmap effects and to all of the textures in there. I wonder if I need more blending. I think it will be fine. So you can see that we've got a little bit of spacing. You know what? It's going to be fine. Okay, so as you can see, I have an example of a perspective thing. I can add perspective to any of these shapes here. So if I go drag this over here, and I can do a little bit of stretching. Let's do a little bit of stretching. Oh, yeah, see, this is the rendering times taking a moment. Let's move this node down to right about there. Okay, let's drag this one up here. No, I didn't mean to do that. Undo. What I want is I want to grab the top and put it more or less there. Okay. Now, oh, you know what? All my circles are wrong now. Oh dear. Well, that's okay. This isn't going to be permanent. I'm going to undo this, but I did want to demonstrate what I am actually doing here. So let's let me see. Yeah, I can go to layout. No, not layout. Object. I think I need to click it. Right? Yeah. Okay. Object. Perspective. And there goes rendering again. And I can grab this node here and drag it up. Yeah, I can drag it. I'm going to line it up with this cyan line right here in a moment. Oh, that has some visual glitches. It's okay. Can I not select that? I just sneezed. Okay. I want this thing right here. No, I want this line right there. Let's pull this all the way up. Okay. And this line right here, let's pull that all the way down. Okay, cool. And now there's a visual glitch here. I will correct that in a moment, actually. But yeah, let's go object, clear the existing perspective, and we'll remove this. Okay. Add perspective as it waits to render once again. Okay. And we can go something like that for that node. Okay. Go ahead and render. Yeah, wow, this has got some bugs in this software, doesn't it? Okay, and then we can go drag this node straight down to the about there. Okay. And you'll see that our perspective vanishing point that the software has created is going to right about here. Now, the problem is that the software has some defects in it and its perspective is all broken. So yeah, this is yet another bug. Well done, Corel. All right, now, I think if I did something earlier that made this work. Yeah, why is it not working? Is that it there? It is all sorts of glitched, isn't it? Oh my goodness. Well, this may take a moment. I think we're waiting for the software to catch up. How's our stream doing? We've dropped 6,441 frames. Wow, that's a lot of frames. I wonder how many we've sent. All right, so we're back there. Layout, perspective. Where is it? I'm going to select it. Object, add perspective. Oh dear. More or less to that line up there. Man, that takes a long time to render. Now I actually can correct the mess up here. So I can drag the node in to the center there. And that's fine, but I think we're still going to have a bug. One moment, I've got a micro. I have returned. I just noticed that my music has stopped. Ah, very good. We got the music. Okay, so I've got a problem here. Well, the video is video. The image, the perspective is, I've set it correctly, but it is glitching out. The object is not showing up how I expect. And I'm not entirely certain what's involved in fixing it. But let's just try drag. You can see if I am fiddling with this, the wireframe is correct. Okay, the wireframe is correct, but the actual resolve thing is bugged out. So if I just drag that around like that. Interesting. Well, okay, so this is a puzzle. I've actually got this to work before in the past. I'm not entirely certain what I've done that is incorrect here. But anyways, yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just bring this back. Let's back up a whole bunch of steps before I do any weird and wonderful things to this. And yeah. Oh. all the rendering here is quite complicated here. Alright, so we're going to all the way back to there. As this computes. I think the way to do this is perhaps not with the bitmap effect. The bitmap texturing effect, I do believe, is causing some issues. So we're going to need to recreate that bitmapping effect out of with a different mechanism. Which is fine. Yeah, this whole piece of software is just kind of glitched at the moment. Okie dokie. A little bit of rendering to do. Okay. Well, you know, when I run into problems like this is when I decide that I think I might need a nap. Yeah, so I've been streaming now for coming up on an hour. And, yeah. I'll pick this up a little bit later. See if we can get ourselves back to where we were. Okay, there's this. Moving ourselves around. Okay, very good. Okay, so this is back to where we were. I'm going to maybe undo the bitmap effect here. I really like how this looks, but obviously adding perspective to a dynamic object like this is perhaps not going to work. What we might do is we might go and just convert this entire image to a bitmap texture and put that in. That might be one way that we could do it. Perhaps not. I'm not sure. If anybody out there actually goes and watches this, let me know. Yeah, I don't have anything else to share right now. I'm gonna just go take a little break. But yeah, see you around.